Good morning, everyone. So, I've kind of taken a break from YouTube for a little while, so I'm getting back on the YouTube train. Zoomed with a couple of kids from room 403 this morning, and we finished the last chapter book, Ghosts Don't Eat Potato Chips, and we voted this morning on a new chapter book to start. So, today we're going to start, here we go, Angels Don't Know Karate. Okay, so it's the same characters from the first book that we read. So, we have Liza, Melody. Over here we have Howie and Eddie down here. Okay, so we're gonna start this chapter book, and this morning I'm gonna read two chapters. Okay, so we have Angels Don't Know Karate. Let's jump right into it. So the first chapter is called Angels, Angels Everywhere. Chapter 1. Melody fell back on the ground and waved her arms and legs in big arcs. When she jumped up, there was a perfect angel in the snow. So I'm sure some of you guys have made snow angels before, but if you spread your arms like this and your legs too in the snow, when you stand up, it looks like there's like an angel, like wings and everything like that. Watch out, she hollered to her friend Eddie. You almost trampled one of my angels. It was a few weeks before Christmas. Melody and Eddie and their friends Liza and Howie were on the Bailey School playground playing in the fluffy snow. Other kids had built a snowman, and Eddie was in the middle of bombarding them with snowballs packed extra hard. How do you expect us to have a decent snowball fight? Eddie grumbled. There are snow angels everywhere. Melody smiled. Of course there are. We all have guardian angels. Here we go. There they are. And there's an example of a snow angel right there, okay? That's what my mother always told me when she gave me this. She pointed to a little gold pin on her collar. Howie laughed. Everybody but Eddie, he said. No angel would come near him. You better hope your guardian angel's paying attention, Eddie warned, because you're about to get creamed with this snowball. Eddie took aim and let the snowball fly. Duck! Liza screamed, but Howie didn't move fast enough. The snowball smacked him right in the chest. Howie's angel must have gone home for Christmas, Eddie said. Melody grabbed Eddie's arm before he could throw another snowball. Don't you believe in angels? She asked. Everybody has a guardian angel, Liza said, even you. Then I hope that new crossing guard has one, Eddie said. He jerked his arm away from Melody and pointed to the street. There was a stranger wearing a bright white cap and gold earmuffs was bending over in the middle of the street. Near her was a bright orange sign that read Crossing Guard. With a fat paintbrush, she was repainting the faded crosswalk stripes. She better be careful, Liza said. A car could run her over. Eddie agreed. She'd be flatter than a dime on a railroad track. She needs a guardian angel, Melody said, as the stranger set her can of paint down on the sidewalk across the street. If she spills paint on mean Mr. Mason's sidewalk, she'll be a goner. The kids stared at Mr. Mason's yard. It was the only one around without any Christmas decorations. Everyone knew about mean Mr. Mason. And it was said that he cooked kids in his stew if he found them in his yard. Maybe somebody should warn that stranger before Mr. Mason catches her, Eliza said. Eddie opened his mouth to speak, but before he had a chance, a snowball bopped him right in the mouth. Ow! Eddie screamed. A direct hit, a boy named Ben yelled, loud enough for everyone in the school yard to hear. Ben was in the 4th grade and liked to bully 3rd graders, especially Eddie. Eddie grabbed a handful of snow to throw at Ben. I'm not going to let him get away with that, Eddie said. I wish I knew karate. I'd sidekick him all the way to Sheldon City. Don't worry about it, Howie said. It was only snow. Eddie's chicken, Ben yelled and flapped his arms. Bok, bok, bok. I'm not chicken, Eddie blurted. I'm not afraid of anything. Yes, you are, Ben shouted. You're afraid of a little snowball fight. I bet you're even afraid of climbing trees. Am not, Eddie sputtered. Ben walked up close to Eddie until their noses almost touched. I dare you to prove it. I double dare you. Eddie put his hands on his hips. I'll prove it, he said. You just wait and see. Uh-oh. So chapter 2, I'm going to do 2 chapters today. Chapter 2 is called Double Dare. Don't do it, Melody said. It's too dangerous. Howie nodded. Especially in the snow. Those branches will be icy. Eddie held his head up high. I have to, he said. Ben double dared me. That just means Ben is twice as dumb, Melody said. And if you climb that tree, you'll be 2 times dumber than he is. Eddie thought about that for a moment, but he wasn't very good at math, so he decided to ignore his friend. Get out of my way, Eddie said. I'm going to set the Bailey School record for tree climbing. Eddie kicked through the snow until he reached the giant oak tree on the playground. The tree was usually their favorite meeting place, but today it looked like a monster stretching all the way up to the sky. Don't do it, Howie warned. You'll get hurt. Eddie didn't listen. He grabbed the lowest branch and hoisted himself up. Then he scrambled to the next branch. Oops, here we go. Sorry, guys. Come here. Okay, there we go. Then he scrambled to the next branch and the next. A small crowd of kids gathered around the trunk and stared as he climbed higher and higher. You better stop, Melody called. You're too high already, Liza added. Howie shaded his eyes from the bright winter sun. The cold will make the branches brittle, he warned. They'll snap off in your hands. Just then, Eddie's boot slipped on the slick bark. He reached for a branch, but it broke off in his hands. Eddie scrambled to stop himself from falling, but it was too late. Uh-oh. Liza screamed, and Howie's face turned snow white as their best friend tumbled down from the branch to branch. Look, Melody gasped. The branches aren't breaking. It was true. The frozen branches handed Eddie down from tree limb to tree limb. So I'm picturing him like, I'm picturing branches, and I'm picturing Eddie falling from branch to branch to branch to branch, okay, until he falls all the way down to the ground. When there were no more branches, Liza closed her eyes. She didn't want to see her friend crash to the ground. Only, Eddie didn't fall. He landed right in the outstretched arms of the new crossing guard. So she's standing there like this, and he fell right into her arms. The kids on the playground cheered, but Melody grabbed Howie's and Liza's arms. Did you see that? Melody whispered to Howie. Of course I did, Howie told her. We all saw Eddie fall. Melody shook her head. I don't mean that. What are you talking about? Liza asked. The stranger. When she reached to catch Eddie, it looked like she had wings, Melody said. Then she whispered, Angel wings. Melody's last words were drowned out by cheers for the stranger. Howie and Liza rushed over to check on Eddie. The stranger gently set him on the ground. Oh, Eddie, Liza said, I'm so glad you're all right. Howie patted Eddie on the shoulder. You could have been killed. Thank goodness you saved him, Liza told the stranger. Melody came up behind Liza. Where did you guys come from anyway? Melody asked. The stranger smiled and pointed upward to the sky over the street. We saw you painting the street, Eddie said. You must have practically flown over here to catch me. No, Melody said firmly. I mean, where did you really come from? Oh, the stranger said. So here she is. I'm new in town. I just dropped in for the holidays. The stranger's voice was soft and musical sounding. Are you visiting family? Liza asked. No, the stranger said. I'm here for the opening of a new karate school. There will be a karate demonstration at the mall this afternoon. Perhaps you'd like coupons for a free lesson next week. All right, Eddie yelled. That's what I wished for. The stranger smiled. Karate is much safer than climbing frozen trees. Thank you for the coupons, Liza said, and for saving Eddie's life. I'm Liza, and these are my friends, Howie and Melody. The stranger smiled and put her hands on Liza's shoulder. It is delightful to meet you. My name is Angela Michaels. I know I will be seeing you again soon. Farewell for now. Liza watched the stranger walk away. She walked so smoothly, she seemed to glide over the snow. That woman is so nice, Liza said. Pretty, too, Howie said, blushing. Eddie had to agree. I guess for once I was lucky. I'd probably be in a hospital if it wasn't for her. It wasn't luck, Melody said to herself. It was a miracle. All right, so tomorrow I will be posting let's see how long, chapter 3, and chapter 4, because both are very short. So I'm already getting sucked into this book. It's kind of weird that she was all the way over at the street, and then as Eddie started to fall, she got over to them really fast. That's really interesting. I wonder how she would have done that. You guys are going to have to tune in tomorrow for the next 2 chapters of Angels Don't Know Karate. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys get outside and enjoy the weather today. Bye.